Yeah, yeah. What they say? I'm so divine, I'm so divine. Imperfection, perfection, my presence shines. My mental is parasailing maritime. They say I'm destined to read the palm line. Yeah, I'm so divine, I'm so divine. Imperfection, perfection, my presence shines. My mental is parasailing maritime. They say I'm destined to read the palm line. Yeah, I'm so divine.
Welcome to the H.G.R.G podcast. We're back with another episode. What's going on, fellas? DT, Just Jerry. What's going on, players?
What's good? Yo, Lance. I dread asking you this, but you still with us?
You damn Skippy, I'm still with you. You know what I'm saying? You know what time it is. You know what time I ain't gonna go nowhere. We ain't going nowhere.
I like it.
H.G.R.G, stop now.
Ooh, styling and all that. I like it. Hey, what's up, best friend?
Give me that. What's up, best friend?
How you doing?
What is going on here? So listen, guys.
Are you tired of us yet, Jerry? You tired of us yet, Jerry, or what?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you this right now. All that best friend, just keep it to real estate, guys. Keep it to real estate. Because he can't sing
what's
and
up,
you.
What's up, partner? How you doing, partner?
There it goes. There it goes.
What we talking about, Lance?
We want to talk about the climate in today's market. Okay, we know the interest rates are high, buyers are slowing down. There's less housing on the market.
Speak for yourself.
You have fuel high that needs to come down lower. We have, everything that affects everything, and we want to touch on a lot of that, and with that being said, knowing how the climate is today, of course you get that one question that everyone asks, especially new investors: is now the right time to buy? So DT, if a new investor asked you that, what would be your response to that?
Absolutely. Yes, the answer is yes. Why now? Typically when interest rates are higher, price points go lower, right? That's a typical market. But the problem, yes, the typical market. The problem that now that the equation that we're faced with today is that yes, the interest rates are higher, right? And prices you would think will go lower, which they are. They're balancing out. But the problem is there's no inventory. There's not a lot out there, depending on your market and what's going on, but there's not really a lot out there. So you got so many buyers who are ready to pull the trigger, and you got so many cash buyers or finance buyers who are ready to, make the investment and do make moves or whatnot, but there's nothing available. So they're diving into fringe neighborhoods. They're buying properties in which they would probably neighborhoods they wouldn't even think about, for lower numbers and putting astronomical rates in because they think they could just change the price points of the neighborhoods. You even got these big corporations that are coming in and buying multiple properties, hundreds of properties in these zip codes and area codes, thinking that they can go in there and wash it out and say, hey, price points were at 60 to 80,000. Now I'm going to change the game. I'm going to make it to 150,000 a house over here. I'm going to gentrify the neighborhood by myself, and that's happening in multiple markets. So is now the time to buy? Absolutely. Is now the time to sell? Absolutely. I mean, it's real estate to me personally. I feel like it's one of those times where, like, if you set yourself up right, you've been playing the game correctly. Now is the time where it's going to get fun. Now is when it's going to get aggressive because you're going to sit tight. You're going to wait for the deals. People who are cash heavy, whether it's through refinancing or just, have funds available or whatnot. Now is the time where we've been waiting for since COVID. So that's my answer.
Got you. Just Jerry, are you in agreement with
yeah?
DT?
So you already know we're investors, so I'm going to agree with DT 100% because right now is very, very, very enticing to buy some properties. It, like he said, there's people in messed up situations that they would take certain things. This is the time. I could play the interest rate, but we could also negotiate a pricing. if he's in a bad situation, I'm gonna get it for pennies for the dollar.
Yeah.
That's what that's what we're gonna do.
You can always refinance later, right, Lance?
Yeah, well, yeah. Look at that.
So now what you're saying though, and let's be very clear, once again, if this may be your first time tuning in, sometimes we don't always see eye to eye, bump heads a little bit, but of course, we all invest.
I see eye to eye with Jerry all the time. I don't know about you.
You said buyers that are sitting on, cash on that are very liquid, waiting to strike after COVID, right?
Yeah.
But what about the new home buyer? What about the person that, or the couple that have 2 regular jobs, 2 years removed out of college, don't have a crazy credit history, but have decent credit history, a decent credit score, and want to go buy a property, but the interest rate is 6-7%, right? Are they not in the same position as the buyer you're talking about, DT? Am I wrong?
I don't think you're wrong. No, you're not wrong.
First, we're talking first when you get into that, you're talking about their home that they're living in or investments.
No. I'm talking about them trying to buy property. Period.
Primary residence. Yeah.
Primary residence.
So my thing is, and I lead it like this, and we were just talking before we hit record. We had to stop because we started to get into it.
Yeah.
And I said, well, they should buy. I think it is the right time to buy, and then refinance once the interest rate goes back down to the mid 3s.
Yeah, that's why I said, hold up, stop right now. You're wrong. 1,000% wrong.
So tell me how, because we didn't get into it. We stopped each other.
Yeah. So primary residence buyers, now is not the time to buy, right? Because prices are high, interest rates are high. Okay. It never makes sense. Now, if you hit the lotto, your financial life just, you and your wife or your spouse just got new jobs, new careers, and everything just changed dramatically for you. And, interest rates and prices don't matter. Yeah. Then you're excluded from this. But, for the average everyday person who, the household income is, 150K or less or 250 or whatnot. It matters because interest rates are so high. They're 6%, 7%. Houses of pricing is.
Well, what if they can swing it? Well, what if they can swing it for a couple years and wait for the interest rate to come down to the mid 3s and then just refinance? Yeah, but why can't they do that?
The problem now becomes that, first of all, it'll never go back down to 3%. That's number one. Number two is that the price of the house that they're going to pay right now, they may not appraise for that same value in 3 or 4 years.
Absolutely.
Well, why wouldn't it go down to and I understand the second half of that, right? Yeah. But I don't understand how you're saying that it may not come down to the 3s.
Oh, because go ahead, Jerry.
First thing is inflation, 100%.
Yeah.
So that's out the way. You're talking about 3 to 4% lower at what it is now.
Yeah.
It's 6 to 7. You're telling me going back to mid 3s.
Yeah, at the rate that they're printing money, at the rate that they're printing money, and the rate that it's just it would never, ever, ever go back down to 2 to 3%. Ever, never. You will never see that again.
Unless another pandemic, and that's playing games.
And let me say how my mother says it: "Ten cuidado," and ten cuidado, because even still, maybe not even. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. It's just that not being.
I want to date myself, but I'm 41 years old, right? When I got my driver's license, I'll never forget this. It was like yesterday. I filled up the gas tank at
it was a lot of years ago.
It was 90.
Guys, I'm 21. Just want to make sure everybody knows that. 21
it was
here.
99 cents a gallon for premium. Right. So today, earlier today, I filled up my tank. $4.07 for premium a gallon.
It's a different game.
It's a different game. But what I'm saying to
you
is
a different game than real estate and interest rates.
Okay, I'm going to tell you the same. It's a different game, but the analogy is the same. You will never in your life see 99-cent gallons of gas again ever. You will never see it. Your kids,
but it's a different game.
Your kids and my kids will never see a $2 and any cent gallon of gas ever. They will never see it. They will never.
It's a different game.
But what I'm saying,
it's a different game.
Yeah, but the interest rates it's you're 100,000%. It's a different game. But what I'm saying is that once they gotten you used to, interest rates are the same. Once they get you used to a certain number, and you're okay with it, and people are still moving and still doing business as, okay, yeah, it won't stay 6, 7, 8% forever. It'll go back down to 5, maybe to 4. If we ever get lucky, we'll see 4% flat. And when you could buy a point back, when your credit score is 835, you might get 3.89. You know what I'm saying? And that's 3 years away at minimum. You agree with that?
I do think it's a few years away.
Okay, so
I do. I do think it's a few years away, but I don't think that.
But that's not fair. You just said my credit score has to be 835 to
right.
even get a 3.8.
Yeah.
That's
right.
not fair.
Yeah.
So let's not talk about those guys because that's damn near perfect.
Yeah. And to go back to your question, Lance, why not buy now for the owner occupant, the primary resident, is because, again, if they're and I'm using a specific analogy, and if it don't apply, then let it fly. If these people who you're referring to, your analogy, have a current property that they probably bought during the pandemic and they're appreciating a 2 or 3% interest rate, and they're moving from that house to a different house, but now they're going to get a larger number because go ahead.
No, I was keeping it at first time home buyers. Now.
Okay, so like leaving an apartment or whatever.
Right now.
Yeah, got you. So if you're a first time homeowner now, should you buy? The answer is probably no. If you live in an apartment that you can stick it out for 2 or 3 months, or if you live in some situation, I'm sorry, not 2 or 3 months, 2 or 3 years. The answer is no, you shouldn't buy. But if you do buy, the only way that I would buy, and I would recommend buying, is a multifamily property.
You better say it again.
With an FHA loan that you can live in a unit and rent out a unit or 2 or 3 or 4. You know what I mean? That would be
right. So you're going back to the investor.
That would be the only way that I would advise somebody to buy now, right? Building a house, no, they stopped building. They're not even building no more. Builders who are building are buying back points for interest rates. Interest rates at 6, 7%. If you buy this new build, they'll buy down your points so that your interest rate goes down to 4 or 5.
So are you on record for saying that the interest rate will never be in the 3s again?
Between 2 and 3? Between 2 and 3? No.
Yeah.
Never again.
No, and you agree, this Jerry?
Me, 1,000%.
All right, mark this episode because I believe both of them are wrong. And obviously nobody can predict the market 100%, right? All you can do is use history like DT's using and just Jerry's agreeing with. And I get that part. I think using fuel is not apples to apples. I think people look at fuel. Fuel is a necessity no matter what. It doesn't matter what price. If they put it at $8 tomorrow,
so our mortgages.
People will still go to the gas station.
So our mortgages.
If right now you see interest rates being at 6, 7%,
correct,
and you see that there's not many new home buyers because they can't afford that, or it's not feasible, or to someone that does have it, maybe it doesn't make sense.
When you say there's not many new home buyers, right? I want to be clear. Yes, there is.
Yep, I'm about to say yes, there is.
Yes, there is.
They found another way to get it.
They're buying new homes. Whether the new builds or whether if the inventory is so low, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not because houses are not for sale.
Oh, really? Okay, tell me more.
It's because what's for sale is being bought above asking.
You're telling me that people aren't sitting on their properties right now?
No.
Because the inventory is so low, you could sell your property and not have a property to move into because there's not enough inventory.
No,
so you're taking a chance at this point.
No, so the problem with it, and it really depends on the type of seller, right? So if you want to sell your property, investment property, now's the time to sell just as well. Now, if you're a primary resident,
kind of moving away, right? Yeah, I want to stick on that.
If you're a primary resident. If you sell your property, right, you're going to get a substantially higher number than you probably typically would. But once you sell, what are you going to do now? Because now you got to pay higher than you would typically pay,
was,
and your interest rate is going to be higher.
That was my point. So
hold on.
Okay,
So this is what people are doing.
They're getting excited over here.
I know, I see it. So what people are doing is they're saying one of two things: I'm going to sit tight and I'm not going to sell my house because what am I going to move into? Or you know what? I'm going to sell my house and then I'm going to rent something for the next 2 or 3 years.
Which rents are astronomical as well. The rents have gone up crazy as well.
They're cheaper.
Right? It's hard to escape a lot of this.
They're cheaper than mortgages. They're cheaper than mortgages. 1,000% cheaper than mortgages.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe right now.
Absolutely.
Right now.
No,
right now.
No, the rent is always going to be cheaper than mortgage.
Not always.
That's not true.
That's not true either.
True.
Depending on where location you're going to.
Yeah, but when I say cheaper than mortgages, I mean you put down a security deposit, first month's rent, and then now my rent is $1,500, $2,000 a month, right?
Correct.
So I live here for 3 years. I've invested $36,000, and for 3 years that's what I paid. I'm good with that. Okay, 2,000, 36,000. I'm good. Now for a mortgage, I got to put down 20%, 5%, 3.5%. I'm paying 7% interest for 30 years. Or, I got to wait till the interest rates go down and refinance. So that's going to be a more expensive, because if you're buying, $200,000-$300,000 house, your mortgage is going to be $1,500, $2,000, $2,500, depending on your interest rate.
Yeah,
depending on your interest rate. So that's why I say cheaper, because even if it's the same, it's cheaper because you don't have to come up with down payments and, pull your credits and all this, hits on all that good stuff.
Yeah. So I guess my question would be, if there's somebody on the fence right now of wanting to sell but doesn't know if they should they sell? Should they sit on it? What do you think they should do?
I think they should go to H.G.R.G and book a consultant call, because every situation is different, right? This isn't like a blanket that I could say, hey, you should do this, you should do that. Every situation is different, right?
So, because Mike, to give you an example, to piggyback off that, let's take your example and go, you know what? Sell your house, rent for a couple years, make it through the storm. And when it goes back down to 4 to 5 or whatever like that, maybe strike then, because you don't think it would be in the 3s, which I disagree with 100%. But with that being said, you could sell your property and make $200,000 off of that.
Yeah. Take
the $36,000, like you said, to rent, right? While you sit and wait, and then you still got $150,000, $160,000 to play with when the market is to your liking. Yep. When the interest rate is to your liking. So you can do that. So, and that's somebody that's made $200 off of their property. So like you said, everything is different. Everyone's situation is different.
Me in that situation, I don't, that wouldn't be what I would advise somebody to do. I would advise somebody to take that, whatever they make, and go get an FHA loan and live in a property that you're going to be, because if you're going to go rent an apartment, you're going to stay with other people anyway. Go get a 4-unit property, a 3-unit property. Put down your down payment, take your FHA, and you can live for free.
You give it too much, DT. Hold on.
You live for free. Yeah, you can live for free. But
DT, too much out in the
that would be me. That's the move. That's the play that I would do. But
and that's a great play, man. I stand on that hill. I always say, what's my phrase, DT? What I always tell them.
What's your biggest bill? What's your biggest bill?
What's your biggest bill? Yeah. It's either your mortgage or your rent. If I could take that away from you, would it change your life? And that's why you get the answer, DT says. And that's why you have, the stuff that Jerry says in past episodes. We always go to that. If we could do it over, if there's a step you could take and you're brand new, what could you do? You want to own a property? Cool. How about not pay rent or pay mortgage? That's the first step sometimes to investing.
At least not out of your pocket. Yep.
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 Pay attention.
Story time with DT. Real life story. So have an opportunity to buy a portfolio, right? So in that portfolio, there's some properties in the area that are worth, a decent number. So the deal is being constructed in a way where when I buy them, I could sell off a couple and pay off half the mortgage. Right. So I had some comps pulled yesterday, and there's a property that is in the neighborhood of one of the properties that I'm looking at that was listed for $178,000. Right? My mortgage broker wrote a mortgage up for somebody interested in that property for $280,000 and didn't get the property. $100,000, $102,000 to be exact, over asking, and did not get the property.
Explain to me why.
He got outbid.
Outbid.
He got outbidded at what?
103? I don't know. He got outbid.
Yo,
I swear on life, I can't make this up. I swear on life, I can't. So that's why, like, when people say that, you know, it's not shaking and baking, what you do you got a heartbeat? Are you really in tune? Are you tapped in? Because
my days, but that's why I brought it back to the first time home buyers for their primary. We're on two different pages there. Yeah. So you're talking about investors.
No.
And people that are liquid as well.
No, I'm talking about a first time homeowner. This is a first time homeowner buying a property. I'm not making this up, bro. The house is the area, the location that I'm looking for the properties are. It's it's a hardworking neighborhood. It's a suburb. Typically, like in the normal climate, houses are like from like 120 to 180 is like the typical price point that the houses go for. But the market, because there's not a lot of inventory.
Right.
This shit left earth. Like, I'm telling you because it's an anomaly. I'm not telling you because this happens every day. That what I just explained to you is not something that happens every day. I'm telling you that because it's an anomaly. Like that shit, I could not believe it last night when he told me what he wrote up the thing and he didn't get it. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, like right around the corner. He pulled up the property, showed it to me, and he wrote it for $280 and didn't get it. And the asking price was $178.
So are they? So the asking price was $178, right? So are they coming on the market too low on purpose? Are there some that are maybe too high? Are they right where they're supposed to be? I mean, where as far as the housing goes?
Good question.
Where's the price?
Good question. He told me, the mortgage broker told me that the house should have been priced higher. So he thinks it should have been priced around $200K is where it should have went on the market at. He thinks that the realtor put it down that low just for this. For a bidding war.
That's still $80,000 more.
No, 100.
Asking price.
No, he's saying if he would have
went 200. Yeah, but and the reason why he says that's why it's such an unpredictable market, because the reason why he says that, because like I told you, the typical, like the normal quote unquote pricing in that neighborhood is between 120 and 180, right? So if you go to the high side, the 180, let's just say houses are going for 20,000 over asking on a regular right now. 200,000. I mean, there's calculations and there's square footage pricing that you can go to. So I'm not like drawing these numbers out of the sky, right? Nor are the realtors, but in conversation, to kind of just have it, say it quickly, this is really what it boils down to. So he was like, I thought it should have been priced at around 200K, somewhere in that range, but he priced it at the 178, and this is where it went. Can't make this stuff up.
Sick.
Can't make this stuff.
That's sick. I know you guys are watching us right now, but I mean, you just shocked Jerry and I. I mean, this is a conversation we had last night. I'm learning this last night because he's helping me write up a mortgage for something that I'm doing or what I'm trying to land on my side, and it involves with possibly flipping a couple properties in the neighborhood of that house. So when I heard that, I'm like, because even when you're doing the flipping, little sidebar real quick. So the properties that I'm looking to get is going to be around 120 a piece, right? So if I'm buying them at 120 and let's say I dump 40, 35,000 into each one, I don't really have a huge window if the highest price in that neighborhood is going for 180.
It's 178.
But if it's going for 280, it changes life.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
If it's going for 220, I mean, that's still a crazy lick.
For sure, the spread is there, but for 280,
220 is a decent number as well. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, but for 280,
bro, anywhere in that vicinity, we
are they all comparable?
But you're saying 280. You guys, motherfuckers, are saying 280.
One of them is like 3 blocks away.
The guy didn't get it for 280.
One of them's like 3 blocks away. The other one's like maybe 4 or 5. Like they're literally like off the same street. They're off the same main road.
You motherfuckers are saying 280.
Same town, same school districts. Square footage is similar.
Just Jerry, you cannot swear on this podcast, man.
I don't give a fuck what you got. You guys are still saying 280, bro. Yeah. Stop saying 280 because he passed 280. My nigga, what are you talking about?
Not just 280. They're paying 280. And
no, he wrote up 280.
Yeah,
right. Get it.
No. But what I'm saying is the buyer, whoever won the bid, is paying over 280, and they're paying 6-point-something% interest.
The fuck are we talking about?
Yeah, we don't know what type of down payment they're putting on there though.
It don't matter what they're paying in the down payment. Their interest is still 6.7%.
I understand that, but if they put a hefty down payment,
what changes?
The mortgage will be lower. The higher your down payment, the lower the mortgage is.
The mortgage will be lower, but the interest is the same.
You're still paying that cash.
Here's a good point I want to make, right? How do I put this?
Don't sound super.
Probably want to try words.
People, rich and wealthy people worry about interest rate. Wow, maybe the everyday people, I don't want to say broke people, just everyday people worry about monthly payment. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
That's a fact. Yeah. That's a fact.
Yeah. How much can I get my car payment for? I need it for $450 a month.
Because I'll tell you why.
They don't care. They don't care if they sold you the car for $50,000, a $20,000 Dodge Neon. They don't care the end price. They just care what's the monthly nut.
What's the monthly nut? Because
$199 a month for 174 months. Sign me up.
But that's because the working class has to fit it in their bills.
Right. I saw something the other day where it said the average the average price for a new car. I saw it. I don't know if it's true. I saw it. I think on maybe TikTok or something like that. The average price for a new car was like $37,000.
$43,000.
Yeah, 40. Okay, that's what it's $43,000, right? The average car payment is like $480, I think it was, or something like that, right? The average salary for the American is $35,000 a year.
Yes, sir. This is what I'm trying to explain to you guys.
That means like $700 a week. And you're taking a third of that for a car payment. What are you going to say? What's your rent or your mortgage? Half? So 3/4 of your income, rent and car payment.
Yep.
The final quarter has to, food, bills, responsibilities. I love you. Let's go to dinner. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy, man. It's unreal. It's unreal.
It's tough, man.
It's tough. It's tough.
It is tough. Weather the storm, everybody. You know what I'm saying? Weather the storm. It's light on the other side of it. This is not the first time that we're going through something like this. It won't be the last time, but just
it could be the last time for people. And I don't want to speak arrogantly, and I don't want to speak past anybody or anything, but it could be the last time that it's something that you're gonna go through or struggle through, right? If you apply yourself with some type of financial freedom, with some type of education to put yourself in a place. I heard today too, if you do the same, if you do what you've done, you're going to get where you are. If you do what you've never done, you're going to get where you've never been. Start today. If that's your story, you're, $37,000 car payment or $43,000 car payment. Half your income goes to rent, half goes to a car payment. You're left with a quarter. It's tough. It's hard. It's not easy, right? When you get these tax returns, or when you get the opportunity to get some free game on H.G.R.G.club, take heed to it. We don't charge you nothing for this. What we speak is truth. You can learn everything we're saying off of YouTube if you just apply it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You gotta, right, at least like it, right? At least like it.
The issue I have with that is because people well, our culture would love to look good instead of being good.
Yeah.
And that's my problem. My problem is that you rather look great in the Mercedes, but can't afford it. You're thinking about payments every month. Change your life, and your life would now become what you wanted it to be. Change your life. Change the movement you're doing.
Change the priorities. That's a fact, man. Listen, and I know what you said about if you just watch YouTube, you can get started that way. I just want to be clear, H.G.R.G.club, when you mess with us, it's that we give you a plug-and-play system, the whole team. Yep. You don't have to find a realtor. You don't have to find a lawyer or an attorney. You don't have to find funding. You don't have to find, property management. You don't have to find. We have all that.
We took all the losses for you. We took all the lessons for you. Yeah, we went through it all. We lost thousands of thousands, lessons after lessons after lessons. So when you get with us, obviously we hold your hand. We tell you, the ins and the outs to avoid those headaches. You've been robbed before. You've been taken by a contractor. This realtor told you this just to get you to buy or sell a property. Nah, our team, they work for us, right? When you hire them to be a realtor, your attorney, your banker, that they're on your payroll at that time. So we hire and fire. But our team is tried and true, trustworthy. These are the people that I use, Lance uses, Jerry uses for their deals, like today. Because we active.
Right.
We out here. We're active. But biggest lesson I ever learned in my life. Go ahead, Lance.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Biggest lesson I ever learned in my life, and I'm gonna end on this, is young, dumb, doing stupid stuff or whatever. And there was somebody who was dumb, young, doing stupid stuff as well, but he was very well respected. And we were both in the same situation. And there was a lot of noise, and he kind of screamed out and yelled, and he was like, listen, man, you guys all tried your whole life this way. Why not try 6 months that way? Whatever it is. Lance said, H.G.R.G, we have the team, which is true. We have everything for you. We can spoon feed you, guarantee you that you're going to be in your first property in 90 days or less. We can do that for you. But if you don't got it, just tap into our free podcast here, soak in the information, apply it, book a call here or there, or comment, like, subscribe, comment. We'll talk back. You might be able to do all this for free. It don't cost $1. So that's why I said what I said about the people who, maybe if this is your situation, we're not looking for nothing from you. Maybe a like, a comment, but you could do it all for free if you just tap in and pay attention here.
In fact, just Jerry.
That's just solid. No, he kind of nailed it in that on the head, bro. All I can tell you is time is now. Get involved. If you don't get involved, scared money don't make money, and it's the truth. If you have a couple dollars, invest in yourself, invest in your future. The conversation is now. It's not gonna get easier. It's gonna always get, because everybody gets hit to what you're doing, so it gets harder and harder and harder to get in the game. Jump in the game now. Find H.G.R.G.club. And we can get you to that goal that you're looking for.
Facts.
Or you can always check out Grant Cardone. Listen, guys, at the end of the day, we appreciate you guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, to do the least. I appreciate it. It costs you nothing. And we'll see you on the next episode. We appreciate you.
Salute. Learn how to fish. Salute.
Yeah. What they say? I'm so divine. Imperfection, perfection, my presence shines. My mental is parasailing maritime. They say I'm destined to read the palm line. Yeah, I'm so divine.